So getting ready to go somewhere. But before that, let me share with you a few things that have really impacted my life this year, and I feel a whole of life all through, and let's get into it. One of them is living in the power of now. Hey, I used to be a person that literally wants to figure out everything. You know, when the kids need to go to school, I need to get into business, I need to handle my marriage, I need to handle going out, I used to really want to figure out everything. I'm that person that literally wants everything done the way they're supposed to be done. And guess the surprising part, things don't get done the way they're supposed to be done. That's just how life is. But I read the book of Power of Now. It's been the most beautiful thing I've done this year. Literally, I've learned to live in the moment. I have learned that when things happen for a reason. And this is not to be confused with being lazy. I told one of my good friends, and I was saying, come on, learn to live in the power of now. And it was like, I'm one person that doesn't believe in the power of now. Power of now is not supposed to be confused with being lazy. Power of now is having a very beautiful moment and you choose to live in it. It's having a job that pays you, but you want another job, but you learn that when you're at your job, you need to do what you're supposed to do so you can be able to do the other job that you really feel like. It's not grumbling, it's not complaining about life, it's more of appreciating what is on the table. And TD Jakes recently said that most of us are hidden, or most of us are sad because we are living in the life that we think we should have had. Did I say it correctly? Like we think that we should have done this. If you have a job, you think you should have had the other job instead of thinking of the job that you have now and do it perfectly. In the malls here, I usually pass in the washrooms and I speak to the cleaners and I'm like, thank you for working hard. And then they're like, we're trying, you guys are really better. I'm like, everyone is better where they are when they learn to live in that moment, to live in that power. I tell them, just appreciate what is here now so that you can get there. Even the Bible says, if you cannot be trusted on the small things, then you cannot be trusted with big ones. So I have learned to live in the power of now. I'm literally somebody who can be in a moment of worship. I'm literally a person that will wake up and I feel like hip hop will motivate me and I live in that. And that moment, once it's done, another one moves in, I live in it. With jobs, I have learned to know that this is what is offered to me now. If I want the other one, I need to work hard to make sure that I get to the other one. Number 2 is living a meaningful life. Everything that blocks my purpose, I just get it off. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm always like making sure that I live a meaningful life. And what is a meaningful life? To me, a meaningful life is knowing your purpose, knowing what you're called for. And when you desire something, there's a way the universe conspires. I love this statement. Like the universe conspires to make sure that you achieve what you want. I've had people come to me and saying, Charity, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Lifting up people and encouraging them to be better is what I'm called for, and I love doing it. Sometimes I have so much work to do, but then I end up speaking to a person like for 3 hours. But when that person feels better, when that person feels like everything is done, I mean, everything is possible, to me, that is what it is. To me, that is my peace. I have a lady recently that came into my Instagram. She told me all the stories and this and that and this and that. She was going through a tough time with her life. She had gone abroad and sent money to somebody and they had messed it up and everything. I asked her, what can you do? She says, I make very, very good juice. I said, let's start from there. How much do you have? And we started from there. To cut the story short, she's now making very good juice and she's earning money. To me, that fulfills my heart to the maximum. Bringing people to Dubai for work. I don't look for jobs for people, but if there is a way I can help them, even if it's connecting them to people, even if it's getting them visas, even if it's advising on when to come and how to come, to me, that fulfills my heart. And I've had friends that come through me and they've succeeded even more than me. And that is where I am right now, like where you get fulfilled because people have found their purposes, people are surviving because of you, and it is very beautiful to live a meaningful life. So your meaningful life is different from mine. When you sit and realize what you have constantly done every single day, trust me, you'll find your meaningful life. What do you do that makes people happy? What do you do that lifts somebody? Is it talking to them? Is it giving them that, giving them that? Don't let anybody tell you what to do. In you, there's something that you should do that is meaningful. On earth, we are not here to just live. We are here to live, as in L-E-A-V-E versus L-I-V-E. I have learned to be open-minded. Hey, I have learned to be open-minded with tribes, with nationalities, with religion, with books I'm reading, with movies, I have learned to just let in everything, and then after I sieve what I want. I used to tell myself some of the things. I'll never date this. I'll never date this person. I'll never get close to these people. I don't have those people as my friends. No, I don't watch that. I don't watch this. I don't listen to that kind of music. But girl, boy, you need to be open-minded. You need to make sure that you wake up to the world. The world has so much to offer. Beautiful people out there who are ready to give you what you want, but you need to be really, really open-minded, because I have sat with people from Bhutan, from India, from Nigeria, from everywhere all over the world. And I remember every moment that I've spent with these people, I have learned something. And that's how you grow. I will still speak about Africa. We are really close-minded most of the times. Oh no, don't do this, because when you do this, this happens. Oh no, don't date these people, because these people are going to do this and that. No, we don't do this as Africans. I don't do that anymore. And this has made my life beautiful. It has made me grow. I have learned to keep opinions to myself. Hey, you people. This is so peaceful to me, literally. I have learned that even when I feel like saying something, I don't say it. Like if I see somebody and I'm supposed to tell them something, but then something in me tells me they're going to think like this, at some point I leave it. In some video I mentioned that I have learned that peace is better than being right. So sometimes, if I have an opinion about you and I know that you're going to say something weird, I'm going to keep it to myself. But hey, if I know you and I love you and you're my friend, I am going to say it in your face. Like, stop doing this. Because if I love you and you're my friend, it's kind of different. So if you are out there and you're listening to me, don't think you need to keep opinions to yourself about your friends. I'm talking about opinions like sometimes about relationships, about what people believe. Being judgmental is literally something I have stopped, and it has made my life beautiful. It has brought happiness to me. Somebody wakes up and wears their short, skimpy dress. I'm like, if you feel like that, it's fine. Somebody wakes up and just gets a beer and drinks it. I'm like, go boy, go girl. If that makes you happy, I clap for you. So I've learned to keep the opinions to myself and skip them. If it doesn't matter, I don't say it. If the other person is not going to understand it the same way I do, some of the things I note them in my iPad, so Some of them I'm going to read them. So knowing myself, this is very important to you, darling. You need to learn yourself. You need to learn, what does Charity want? What is she looking for in the world? What kind of people do? I want you to sit down and evaluate yourself. Do a self checklist. Things that you want to do, people you want to date. And don't do this basing on the money that you have. Don't do this basing on where you are. I will say it again. When you desire something, the universe conspires. You need to know yourself, because when you know yourself, you know what to ask. You know what people should give you, because it's until you know yourself, the value you give to yourself is the value that people are going to give you. This is what I've known. Knowing yourself tells the world how they should take you. This is very important, and this is one of the things I've learned this year that have also changed my life. Telling experiences. Now, most of us, we always go through things and we keep them to ourselves. And this is two-way. You don't need to say it in ways of seeking for sympathy or something. Me, experiences have always been a place where people step up. People get encouraged and people become better through what I've gone through. Like when I tell my story about Isaac, when I tell my story about my parents, when I tell my story about my education, everything about me is experiences, literally. Sometimes when people see you shaking your bam bam and looking very nice, they literally think, oh, I don't think I can be like that. They don't know where we came from, guys. It's a long story, but guess what? Most of the experiences are all worth it. This is how you learn. This is how you get better. There's a song by Maverick City that is called Miracles. It's called Miracles. It's where they say, I've gone through a lot, but this is how you learn. If I can tell you that I've learned things from anybody, no. I've learned things from experiences. Getting strong, choosing who to get married to, choosing who to have kids with. And when I tell them to people, they become encouraged, they become better. Because what I went through when I'm 25, I don't want anybody who is 25 to go through it. Because there's a reason for every experience. At the back of it are very many lessons. So if you tell your experiences with the intention of lifting up people, it's just a beautiful thing. I've learned that. And I can sit and literally tell you my experiences without fear or favor, like what I've gone through. Like, oh yeah, at 21, I was a widow. When I was 2 weeks pregnant, that was the best experience ever. You know what? Because it is where I learned everything that people think I am. I've literally learned it from here. Next is being grateful. Being grateful is another thing that I've learned this year. I have learned to appreciate the littlest things, even if it's talking to somebody, even if it's meeting a beautiful person, even if it's just listening to good music, even if it's going to the beach and just, listen to the waves of the water. I have learned to watch sunsets. I have a friend of mine that says watching sunsets is not for an African person, but I have learned to appreciate every good thing. Like sometimes I just wake up every day, 10 minutes of my days is a place. It's a time where I learned to think about the friends I have, to think about the kids I have, to think about the people I've lifted, to think about how much it is a privilege to just be on earth. How much it is to just wake up and breathe. It's been the most beautiful thing I've learned. Being grateful, even if it is just a sweet word that somebody has taught me. Just think about this time of COVID and you're still breathing. People have died. People have slept without food. People have lost their jobs. People have failed to survive. Some people don't even have COVID, but the biggest problem is surviving. Even if it's the fact that I've lifted a person, it's just a privilege for me. I tell people, they say, thank you, and I tell them, no, it's a privilege.